So today I wanted to talk about a washing machine that we have for washing clothes outdoors. It's a Maytag. It's a model 1965, an N2L. You don't see these too much, but lately one popped up in a Facebook post, so I thought I would talk about it a little bit. So it has a porcelain tub, and it's what they consider a gyrator, and that thing on the top, that's actually a wringer for wringing out your clothes, because they're going to be sopping wet when they come out of this. It doesn't tumble the water out like a modern washer. As you can see, she got a little rust, needs a paint job. That's coming this week. But I want to show you how this works, and then I'll talk about where it came from. So it works basically the exact same way as a washer. It's just a little slower. You have right in here, you have your gyrator in here. It moves everything around, gets the suds moving. Down here, to turn that on, you pull this switch out, and that's what works that. In order to use the wringer, you have a forward and reverse lever. Forward means it spits the clothes out back that way. This way comes this way. Sometimes it gets stuck. Don't put your hand in there. It hurts. And over here, you have a hose that is used as your drain. And underneath of that, you'll see there's a small lever. And what that does is turns on a pump so you can pump the water out instead of just letting it drain out. So if you wanted to push it upwards rather than just let it fall, that's how that would work. You just load your clothes in like you would a normal washer. You put your soap in, and the way that we add the water, because why would you bucket it? This isn't 1960 anymore. Is we have a hose that runs right up here. We attach it to our kitchen sink. We run it out there. We put a clamp on it, and it just sits here and pours water right into there, and we're ready to go. So that's really all it is to loading it. It's the exact same. The big difference here is you have to do some of the things by hand that a machine would do for you. So now we have it plugged in. You can probably hear that little engine in there humming. It's an old, like I said, this is an old piece. So we're going to go ahead and pull the lever that makes that little thing turn. And that's all you do is pull it out, and you can see it just sits there and agitates. It's a little slower, but it does the job. It just takes a little bit of time. That's about the highest speed it goes, and that's all you do from here is wait for this to be all sudsed up and ready to drain, and then put in your clean water and agitate it again. So you can see we drained it out, and now we're refilling it now to do the rinse cycle, if you will. And once again, it's just a hose that we run attached to our kitchen sink, and you just fill it up, start the agitation again with that small lever, and you let it agitate the soap out, and then drain it off and repeat. And then we get to the fun part, which is when you run it through the wringer, and everyone's going to love that, I promise. So now that we've put in our rinse water and we've agitated it, we're going to do the wringing process, which will remove excess water, make them easier to dry. So we're going to go ahead and move that lever on the left. That allows us to move the wringer over to the side, and that leaves it so that it's still going to drip the water back into the wash tub. So we lock that back into place, and now we hit the switch that turns it on, and you can see that makes it revolve this way. So you put your clothes in that side, and they feed right out the back through those two hard rollers, and it just sheds moisture. Okay. You see the water just runs right off of it. And that's all it is to a wringer washer. Now you take those out and hang them on your line like you would normally. The reason why I really thought this was cool, not just the fact that it's been seen on Facebook lately, this was my grandmother's washing machine. I remember as a kid, our washing machine broke at our house, so my father went and got this from my grandmother. And we used it for, I have no idea, until we got a new washer. So once they got a new washer, they just put a tarp on it and stuck it outside for a while. And then when my washer died, I called my dad and said, hey, do you still got that old wash tub? And he showed up with this, and we've been using it now with great success. And like I said, the really neat thing about it, this thing was built in 1965, and as far as I know, no parts have ever been replaced except maybe a belt once, which cannot be said about modern appliances. So it's a pretty neat little thing. If you've ever used one before, go ahead and leave something in the comments, or if I've missed anything, same thing, and we'll see you next time.